Hi guys, welcome to my second video. This video is going to be a Q&A. I had asked you guys on Instagram any questions you had, and I'm just going to go ahead and answer them in this video. But first, I would like you to meet my girl. So in my last video, I was actually pregnant, and I wanted to document my pregnancy and stuff, but I really never got around to it. I was a little too nervous to do it. So now here we are. So currently the girls will be 3 months old on Saturday. This is Everly and this is Ellie. And they both are being such good girls, so we'll see how long that lasts during the video. But I did just make a list of all the questions, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so one of the questions was, do you sleep? That's really funny because in the beginning, they were in a twin halo bassinet. So basically it's a bassinet, but it has a mesh center. So they're like side by side with a divider. That did not work well for us. It had amazing reviews. It literally cost I'm trying to remember, brand new, it's $500. It's super expensive, but we got it secondhand. So that was really nice, but it just didn't work for us. What would happen is Everly normally would wake Ellie up, and then they'd both be up for hours. So right now we actually switched to 2 separate pack and plays, and they've been doing a lot better, and I really like that. So basically Ellie, or well, I guess whoever, is on one side of the bed and Everly's on the other side of the bed. And that's been seeming to work pretty well, but I nurse them, so I normally get about, on a good night, it's 4 to 5 hours, but there was a point in time where they were up every single hour, and I was like a zombie. So there definitely was a hard time with sleeping. I feel like we've gotten into a better routine. Luckily, my husband wakes up with me pretty much every feeding, I would say. So I tandem feed them at the same time, and then he'll burp them, and then we'll change diapers, and then try to put them both down. Okay. How long did you breastfeed the twins? So I'm still currently breastfeeding them. Like I said, they're almost 3 months old. My goal is 2 years, so we'll see. That's a very ambitious goal. I would like to make it at least to 1 year, but I would be really happy if we make it to 2. When your milk was insufficient, what did you do? So they have had a little formula, not a lot, but there was, I'm trying to think, I think it was 6 weeks after I gave birth to them, I actually had to have my gallbladder out, and I had nothing pumped, nothing stored. So unfortunately I shouldn't say unfortunately, but they did have to have formula. No big deal in my opinion. I think fed is best. As long as my babies had something to eat, that's all that matters. But I did pick right back up with breastfeeding, and I actually just was a guest on a podcast. It's called Crunchy Conversations. You can look her up on Instagram. But I was a guest on her podcast talking all about breastfeeding twins and my experience, and basically any recommendations as far as products or resources. So I did do that. It hasn't come out yet, but I think within probably the next week. But go ahead and follow her on Instagram, and you can definitely listen to that. Let's see. The next question. The most unexpected or surprising challenge. I think that would be probably the sleep. Just because, of course I knew babies don't sleep through the night, but I didn't realize with twins how hard it would be with them waking each other up, and just being living on sometimes an hour of sleep. I think the most unexpected challenge regarding to sleep was probably the first, I'm thinking it was either the first night or the second night in the hospital. So Eric woke up, and I literally was kneeled on my bed looking into the little bassinets, making sure the girls were breathing. I never thought that I would be concerned that they were breathing or not, but that was definitely a huge concern of mine. Once you give birth, it's they are completely your responsibility. Their life is in your hands, and that was super real to me. And I just wanted to make sure everyone was okay, and everyone was breathing and everyone was safe. Probably the first 3, it might have even been longer, like maybe the first week, excuse me, of their lives when we got home. I don't think I even slept at all. Like there was nights that I didn't even sleep for an hour because I would literally just stay up watching them. I'm super happy that that passed, and it wasn't even like, I wasn't like depressed or anything like that. I just like was so scared that what if I fell asleep and then they weren't breathing, or what if something happened to them. Look at her. Ellie, are you tired? Oh, bless you. Bless you, Goober. Yeah, so that was definitely, I guess I never expected that. So that was hard for me. But now, you know, the first night after you sleep, like through the night, not through the night, but like for that first like 3-hour stretch or whatever, it definitely is a lot easier. Let's see. What did you think when you found out it was twins? So I think I talked about this a little in my first video, but basically like everyone had been joking around about it. So I like had it in my mind. I just didn't think it would actually happen. But I was like super excited. I think I was more in shock and disbelief. How was the birth? So I definitely want to make a separate video talking about the birth of the twins, because I feel like I had such a different experience than anyone else I've talked to. So basically, like, I had such a calm birth. Really nothing crazy happened. I slept a ton of the time, like during labor. I did get the epidural, so I mean, that definitely did help me. But other mothers that I've talked to, their experience was extremely different than mine. I had a very peaceful, calm, relaxed birth. I think just my mindset going into it, are you talking? Was maybe a lot different than other people's. I wasn't scared. I had full trust in my doctors. You know, I honestly just wanted my girls here, so that's how I felt. Like, I was just like, let's get it done. So Everly was a vaginal birth, and Ellie was actually a breech extraction. So if you don't know what that is, so first of all, I delivered in the OR, so they wouldn't let me deliver in a normal labor and delivery room. I had to actually deliver in the operating room just because twins are at a higher risk. Sorry, sister. So, a breech extraction, basically, my doctor had to reach up into my cervix and grab Ellie by her feet and pull her out. I didn't feel a thing, which apparently is very shocking. Yeah, so I definitely want to go into more detail as far as the birth in another video, but excuse me, sorry, my throat is really dry. But I just feel like that will take too long of the video to really go into that. Who did you have in the room? So this is kind of more into the birth story again, but basically the only person that I had in the room was my husband. Besides, I had a team of doctors, nurses, a couple of anesthesiologists, a NICU team, a C-section team. I didn't have a C-section. It was just for in case of emergency. Ellie's sleeping. But, sorry. But yeah, so there was a lot. There was even more people. I'll go into it more in depth in another video. Do they go to daycare? So no, they don't go to daycare currently. I am a stay-at-home mom at the moment. My husband, he works, he's a welder, and before I had the girls, I was doing hair, so I'm a hairdresser. I don't think that's something I'm necessarily going to go back to in the future, but to be honest, I'm just not sure yet. There's a couple things that I would really like to do. I just don't know, I guess. Yeah. I have always wanted to be a nurse, so I've been like really thinking about that. It's just, you know, of course, like with the twins, that's a lot. So we'll see. Do they use pacifiers? So the girls don't really like pacifiers. Like, it's very strange. They have used them a couple of times. Excuse me. Yeah, they've used them a couple of times, but like they really don't like them very much. The only time they like them, yes, is sometimes careful with your little head. Sometimes in the car they do like to use them, or sometimes before bed, but very rarely. And number one baby item that you can't live without for twins. So that's really hard because I definitely have a couple, but I would say the number one baby item for me personally is my Snap and Go stroller. So we have the Chico Keyfit 30 car seats, and they literally just snap into the stroller, and it's a cheap stroller, like, I don't know, maybe like under $100, I would say, but it's perfect for going like into stores, and you can actually fit into stores. The only thing that I don't like, but I like, it's confusing. So it's one baby sits in front of the other baby, so it's like long ways. And I like that because you can actually fit through aisles. But I don't like it because it's very hard for you to like reach to the baby in the front. I have had a couple, actually multiple instances, honestly, with twins. One of the like hardest things is that twins attract people, which I love because, of course, you know, like, I love my girls, and like I understand that like people want to see them and it's exciting and it's twins, but like it is very hard because a lot of people don't understand boundaries, and that's something I've struggled with, having to be like the advocate for my babies with, I guess, is like strangers coming up and like trying to like put their face right in your baby's face, or put their hands like right on your baby. And I have no problem, like, if people want to look and like say hi or whatnot, you know, of course, like, I'm very friendly. It's just like, don't touch my baby, I guess. I was at Target with one of my best friends, and this lady, I have a sign on their car seats, first of all, and it says, please don't touch, your germs are too big for me, mommy thanks you very much, or something along those lines. And this lady literally reaches in Everly's car seat, and then she goes, oh, I love your sign, as she's literally touching my kid. And so I was like, yeah, you would be amazed, because I didn't know what else to say. And that was really hard for me, because I never want to be rude, but at the same time, like, you know, you don't just touch someone else's child. I would never do that. I would never stick my hands near a newborn baby. That's just not acceptable. But anyways, so let me see. I think I was missing one more. Oh, the other baby item that, here's a couple that I can't live without. So the stroller definitely is number one. The Breast Friend pillow. So it's just like the Twin Z pillow, similar, I guess. It's a breastfeeding pillow for twins. I like that a lot, and it has been very helpful. I just kind of like got off track with using it for a while. It was really helpful when they were small, to help hold them up, but then I just started holding them. But now they've gotten to the point where they're just so heavy for me to try to tandem feed them, that now I've started using the pillow again. So that has definitely been a good one. Another one is the Infant Boppy pillow. So it actually has like a center. It doesn't have like, there's other Boppy pillows that have like, oh, careful, that have the cutout, which we have those too, but we got one Infant Boppy pillow, and I wish we got two. I wish I bought another one, just because we have used that so much. We really like that. And the last one would be our Mamaroo swings. I love those, and I know they are a super controversial like item because they are pretty expensive, and I know a lot of people like other swings better. I personally can't really speak to other swings because those are the only swings that I've ever had, but my girls loved them, and it was really hard in the beginning. They would not sleep. So in the beginning, like, the girls, if they were swaddled, like, it didn't matter, like, nothing mattered. Like, they literally would not sleep in their bassinet. So that was really hard for me. They loved those Mamaroo swings. So, like, during the day, they would sleep in those, like, as much as I would let them. And, of course, like, you have to supervise them. And another thing that I wanted to, like, mention, now that, like, I've been thinking about that question, like, the most unexpected or surprising challenge, I never realized how many people's opinions and stuff you would be given. So like I know like I knew that other people would give me their opinions, but I never thought it would be like the way that it is. I'd guess. I don't know. So throughout the years, things change with anything. But that's been something that I've really struggled with because, you know, when we were growing up, like me and my husband were growing up, like things were done a certain way. And now things are done a different way. So like for instance, like now the safe sleeping. So basically now it's baby is flat on their back, nothing in the crib, and alone in the crib. And so like when I was a baby, you know, I had a whole bedding set. So I had, you know, the bumpers, the quill, the everything, you know, like little stuffed animals, all of that in my crib. Well, that's not recommended anymore. So that's been like a difficult thing to navigate as far as, you know, my family's been pretty like very supportive and they haven't like, you know, they're my babies. So what I say goes, what me and my husband say goes, but just like seeing that from like different times, like what they did versus like now what is recommended. Not that like what they did was wrong, because that's what they thought was best in that time. And that's like totally fine, you know? It's just like obviously throughout the years, like new studies come about and new opinions, and that's fine. But that has been a challenge for me. Also, like, at what point do you introduce food? Breastfeeding versus bottle feeding. Just, you know, like certain things that I never like really like gave much thought to as far as like what other people's opinions would be. But that has definitely been like an interesting like I wouldn't say struggle, but maybe like yeah, an interesting challenge, just learning how things change over the years and choosing what I want to do for my family. Because, you know, just because something is recommended doesn't mean that's what you do. And yeah, basically I guess that's all that I wanted to say as far as that goes. We do practice safe sleeping in our house. Not to say that that doesn't, you know, that might not work for you. I'm not pushing that on anyone. I'm not pushing the other way. You do what you do, and I think that is a personal decision. But yeah, I guess that's all as far as my Q&A. I answered, I think I got all of the questions that were asked. There's like about 10 questions on the list. But yeah, I definitely want to go in depth more like and do like a birth story, because I feel like I had a really extremely special birth. And as I've talked to other women, like their experience hasn't been the same. Oh, another question I did get was, have you suffered from postpartum depression at all? I personally have not. The only thing that I think I had a little bit hard time with was, like I mentioned, the first couple days, like the first week when they were home, like I could not sleep and just like staying up and watching them. Other than that, nothing like that has continued throughout the weeks. That's totally normal. They say like baby blues and like stuff is very normal. I fortunately did not have any of that. And I think that's another thing that a lot of people have been so surprised that I have taken like motherhood, I guess you could say, so well. And that's been, that has been a little interesting to me, because I have been so happy and so excited, and you know, my girls are everything to me. And I think like with postpartum depression being so common nowadays, everyone just assumes that like you're having a hard time maybe. And I am not putting anyone down that has postpartum depression, because I have seen a lot of my friends go through that, and it is terrible, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone, you know. And unfortunately, it is so common. I feel very blessed that I haven't had that, because the people that I know that have had it, it's a huge struggle. And it doesn't go away overnight, and it takes a lot of work to get through that. So I'm very thankful that I haven't gone through that, but I also like feel like it's not talked about on the other end of not having postpartum depression, because it is such like a common thing nowadays that like people were surprised that I went in the first couple weeks, like I would get up, like I'd straighten my hair, like I'd go out, you know, like, I mean, we didn't go out like a ton, but you know, like I had no problem, like, you know, we'd bring the girls to my dad's house, or like we would go get food or something, and like people were shocked that I could even like get myself dressed. So that was very interesting to me, because the last thing that I wanted to do was just like sit at my house. I wanted to like get up, like get myself dressed, like look good, you know, like get out, like enjoy my day. I didn't want to just like sit at home all day, which, you know, of course with having newborn babies, it's not like you can really go out in public like a lot, and it was winter, so I had them January 4th, so it wasn't like I could just like go out and go on walks all the time, because we live in Vermont and it's cold. So I did have to be very careful, especially with it being flu season. And so right now is the midst of the coronavirus. So we are actually at the moment social distancing or quarantining, whatever you want to call it. So that's, you know, why I literally didn't do my hair, didn't do my makeup, nothing. So we're just like hanging out at home in our sweats. And in Vermont currently, there's actually a 3-week stay-home order, so we will be staying home for those 3 weeks. It's only the essential workers that, you know, need to go out, or if you want to get like groceries, you can go out. Only one person from your household. So the babies and I will be staying at home. My husband is an essential worker, being a welder. He fixes like vehicles, like welding vehicles and maintenance stuff. So if we need anything, he'll go out and get it. But I hope everyone stays safe during this time. And I think my next video, I guess I'll probably ask like on my Instagram. So go ahead and follow my Instagram. I believe it's Hannah Deef 19, I think, or it's Handeef 19, and Deef is DIEF. But I'll link it below in the description, because that's so embarrassing that I don't know my Instagram name, but I did change it when I got married, so sorry, I have such a dry throat. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and ask what you guys want for my next video. I'm thinking either like my #1 baby products or a birth video, but I'm not sure. I'll think about it. I also have started a little boutique. It's called Blue Ridge Boutique. I have it on Instagram, and it's Blue Ridge Boutique 802, and then also on Facebook just under Blue Ridge Boutique. And go ahead and like follow or like that page. And I basically do custom, you know, onesies, t-shirts. Starbucks cups are like a huge seller for me right now. I do infant and toddler bows, and those are super cute. But yeah, so I should have had the girls wear them in this video so you could see them, but we've just been relaxing at home, so they weren't really dressed. They're in their PJs like me. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Say bye, girls. Say bye.